And now, a KCAU-9 election update.
Good evening and thanks so much for watching. We have some numbers coming in from Iowa, Nebraska, and South Dakota as we continue to cover your local elections.
And here's the Iowa governor's race. Incumbent Governor Kim Reynolds looking for her first election win against the Democrat, Des Moines businessman Fred Hubbell. And you see the numbers, about a 10% swing there. Again, these are all early numbers that you're going to see.
In the U.S. House, Congressman Steve King has represented Northwest Iowa since 2002. Look at how close this race is right now. Again, this is with not all the votes counted, but J.D. Schulten taking a lead at this point with 50% of the vote. King not far behind with 48%.
I want to check in with our own Jordan Furby. He's in Des Moines tonight, and he's with the Kim Reynolds campaign, the Republicans in downtown Des Moines. Jordan, what can you tell us at this point as these numbers start to trickle your way?
Yeah, the mood, I think, is a lot of anxiousness. A lot of people filing into the ballroom here at the downtown Hilton in Des Moines, waiting to see those first numbers, as you mentioned. A lot of people glued to their TVs to try to see the latest numbers of what the polls show. Of course, the polls closed only a few minutes ago at the top of the hour, and just a lot of people cautiously optimistic, and I'm sure a lot of people anxious. I know a lot of networks have called that the House will be tuned, has called the House going towards Democrats. A lot of people trying to see if that trend will continue into Iowa, whether it be the governor's race or any of the state races or any of the other races that we've seen across the state. We'll be here the rest of the night keeping you updated on the mood and to see if any of those numbers go final here and if we'll hear from the governor anytime soon. Live in Des Moines, Jordan Furby, KCAU-9 News.
Thanks, Jordan. Appreciate that update. More numbers to get to here locally.
Indeed. When I look at South Dakota, Kristi Noem is facing off against Billy Sutton. It's a Republican and Democrat. One of them will become the governor, a new governor in the state of South Dakota. Also, Kurt Evans on the ticket. You can see early numbers there out of South Dakota. And here's the South Dakota House of Representatives at large, a state race here that you're seeing with Dustin Johnson, 2-to-1 margin basically at this point so far into the evening. Now to Nebraska.
Pete Ricketts looking to be elected to a second term. The incumbent, right now he has 55% of the vote over Omaha Councilman Bob Christ. And the Nebraska Senate race, Deb Fischer looking to be re-elected, and she has a pretty handy lead over the Democrat Jane Raybould. Also in Nebraska, House District 1 in the District 1, as I mentioned, Jeff Fortenberry leading his Democratic challenger with 55% of the vote. And in House District 3, that race will take a look. 75% of the vote currently going to Adrian Smith, the Republican incumbent in that contest.
A few more ballots have been counted. You can see there in Nebraska and in South Dakota. Their polls have been closed now for a couple of hours. In one of those cases, Iowa's just closing 27 minutes ago, and we expect those numbers to continue to pick up pace. Our political analyst, Dr. Jeff Taylor of Dordt College, is with us again.
Good to be back.
Jeff, you've been watching not only the local races, nationally as well. Just some thoughts on how things are panning out this evening.
Well, I saw that ABC just a few minutes ago called the Senate for Republicans to continue to have dominance in that chamber of Congress. And I don't think ABC has done it yet, but I heard that another network had called the House for the Democrats. And that may well end up being the way it works. But I would say the big blue wave that was hoped for, feared, depending on your perspective, I don't think that we're going to see that tonight. It looks like the House would be by a modest margin of Democratic control.
Coming into tonight, the talk was, you know, the midterm's never good for that new president. About 23 seats usually is the difference there. If you look at the averages, which is what was needed tonight for Democrats. So to have it not be as decisive is pretty close to that number.
Right. So as polarizing as Trump is, and as much opposition as there is to Trump out there in the nation, we're not seeing a tidal wave of opposition. And this, in many ways, has been a referendum on President Trump. So what you're seeing with the Democrats getting control of the House, it's not surprising. It's pretty typical that there is a shift in between presidential elections of that magnitude. So.
We're not far along from more results coming in, of course, in our 10 o'clock newscast.
And we've got our rest of our news team, of course, you've been hearing throughout the evening, out not only in Des Moines, as we just heard from Jordan Furby a few minutes ago, but here in Sioux City, we'll have the congressional, the 4th district congressional race covered for you. Once those candidates arrive on the scene, we'll be talking with them and talking to their supporters tonight, both in Steve King, the incumbent Republican, and J.D. Schulten, the Democrat, in that race. Plus, as the numbers come in close to home, too, with the Board of Supervisors races important here locally, with some of the local state legislative races, and we'll have all that for you.
You can follow those in the meantime on the bottom of your screen or at SiouxlandProud.com. We're updating our website results. We'll see you back here in a half hour. Thanks for watching.